What's happening there, Reject Nation? We got a little trailer behind the scenes look at Shazam, Fury of the Gods. We got John here. We got Jandreau here, our comic book expert, aficionado, connoisseur. Shazam! Yeah, are you more excited for Shazam, Fury of the Gods, or Black Adam?
Oh, okay, Shazam is my favorite DCEU film, and that's going to cause some controversy, but I think Black Adam is going to change things more. Nostalgia-wise, I'm going Shazam 2.
All right.
It's a hard decision, because Pierce
right.
Brosnan's Dr. Fate. That's almost enough alone.
Let's plug in these headphones that I've been holding in camera for you guys.
This is
Let's
how
do it.
headphones work.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie's just so fun already, the BTS. The fun here.
Hello, my name is Zachary Levi. I should have looked tag. And I play Shazam.
Yeah. Shazam
We established something very special in the first movie. And in Shazam, Fury of the Gods, we expand on that.
Now they have to balance their life with being superheroes.
This is where you hang out with your superhero friends, isn't it?
These goddesses come to our world.
Our incredible new villains.
Oh, loose is this.
Costumes, dude.
Chief Kick-Ass is Kalypso. We have mythological creatures.
Minotaurs,
Nice.
harpies, dragons.
Damn.
When I talk about upgrades, we got an upgrade, a huge upgrade in the suit. Bigger action sequences, bigger set pieces. We go from Athens to Philadelphia. We go from the Rock of Eternity and the Library of Eternity to the Realm of the Gods. So with the environments that were never explored in the first film.
Holy shit.
This looks huge.
It all.
They're like, we gave you money this time.
It did well.
Oh, dang, we actually care about this.
Damn.
Takes the excitement and the action to a whole new level.
It's going to be more of a spectacle.
It's fun all around. You're in store for a treat, y'all.
Well, you do get a very different impression from that one because the last one's, big meets superhero. It's very, personal and grounded with, of course, you got your Savannah in there to ascend it to, comic book movie. And yeah, I mean, Shazam is there's been several interpretations of Shazam. I read quite a few of Shazam, actually. I don't know how to I'm excited for it in a lot of ways. At the same time, this looks like it's going more traditional superhero movie.
As opposed to the special little niche it found.
Yeah. Because I'm not getting is Jandreau and Grazer in here? Did I totally
He
miss
was
him?
on top of the building talking to the girl.
Okay, that's
They focus way
because he was
more.
my favorite part of the last one. Yeah.
They focus way more on them as the Shazamily adult forms, yeah.
Okay, yeah,
He's in at least one shot.
I mean, there's a lot to look forward to from being pretty well acquainted with the Shazamily, and I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's just it seems like such a leap
Yeah.
and this is behind the scenes of the trailer. Maybe they're trying to sell us on the fact that this is bigger. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be looking forward to. I'm excited about the mythology and everything. I don't want it to lose that real personal touch that the last one had. That's what made it so special.
It definitely felt like it went from being an underdog story about the back home versus the duality of becoming hero into globetrotting. They lean
that's what I mean.
It goes a lot of places. And
so much bigger.
It feels like a sword and sandals pit.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a sword and sandals superhero movie, which can totally work. But it's interesting that I didn't see Asher in there.
That's what I was thinking of. Not Jack Dylan.
Oh
Grazer.
yeah, I got you.
Asher Angel.
You notice you've got the more authentic superhero suits where Zach doesn't have the padding. It's actually his gains, which I respect. But it's also you're leaning into the more adult heroes, and I love that Mary is playing both young and hero Mary. You have the same actors playing that, but it does look like now that they're aged up, they're in their hero form more. So maybe there is less of the more contained because they're all finding out what it's mean to be so powerful. But that does change the entire dynamic of the film.
Yeah, that's one thing I really liked about the Shazamily. It from the comics, I haven't read a lot, but I've read quite a few. And every time I've read one, it's usually they are still orphans.
Yeah.
And they're still. I mean, there's several versions. Even revisiting Flashpoint the other day was they all form one unit.
Right.
Yeah, and that was one version of it. This time they're all separate, which is more of the recent iteration.
Yeah, the current Shazam run has a lot less of the depowered thems.
Yes, so I still like when they're still orphans trying to deal with this. Yeah, I find that more appealing, and this was all the adults and all the godlike stuff. So I don't know, John, how are you feeling?
I do agree with you guys. I actually was rather enthralled and excited by the prospect of bringing in more creatures and characters from especially like Greek mythology and going further into that, because I think what the first movie did was they set up this neat idea with the 7 deadly sins, but the 7 deadlies were mostly just big monsters, kind of themed off their sin, but not really fully down the rabbit hole of what those could be. So I feel like maybe what they're going to do is at least enhance that element, make it more of a monster movie in some ways, borrow from David Sandberg's obvious horror background that he got to strut a little bit of in the previous movie. But thinking too about just the settings they're going to be in, that's perfect opportunity for you to call upon some of those horror chops and to really accentuate just these locations we're going to be going to. So as much as I do want them to maintain the really personal vibe and the family connection that was the heart of the first movie between all of these foster kids living together, I also am excited to see them go into a corner of mythology I'm not as used to seeing in superhero movies. And even in the lead up to watching this video, I heard a number of people, at least on Twitter, saying like, man, Wonder Woman should incorporate some of this mythology as well. So hopefully maybe this could be an inroad for more of that in the DCU to further, set them apart.
It's funny how we had like 3.
Yeah,
we were the ones who were like, there's some things I'm a little worried about.
I'm enthralled. My 2 big takeaways, I think, going forward are this, instead of feeling like an Amblin film, which the first one definitely felt like, this feels more like those claymation classic, like David and Goliath stories. Like, remember those, like, this feels like that is the influence. And second, it does make sense on the road to Black Adam. Because if Black Adam 2 and Shazam 3 are one film, if Shazam 3 is fighting Black Adam, you don't want The Rock punching children.
Yeah, it's funny because the last movie was, what was that? I'd watch The Rock punch children.
I don't even need it to be Shazam.
Asher, Angel, he's a nice guy. Don't punch Asher. I like
that crack in the face thing they did in the trailer.
that was Asher.
Yeah, it was Asher.
That's why he's
turned into Ash. Yeah.
Asher's such a nice guy.
Okay, like the last movie, was it Jeff Johns? That movie was very specifically based off a very distinct graphic novel.
Yeah.
And all they pretty much did was, let's take out Black Adam. They pretty much
mention him.
They literally did like almost the same exact structure and the way the plot unfolds, and then they just like elevated Savannah a little bit more, and instead of putting Black Adam in there. So I thought like the natural progression would be to like, let's get to Black Adam. But yeah, it's like this version of Shazam, still like Shazam is Zachary Levi, who brings the fun and the levity. Levi. Yeah. So he brings that levity where usually even Shazam is still like really serious. But we'll see. I'm of course gonna watch it opening night. I'm not gonna lie.
At the end of the day, the 3 of us having 3 different perspectives on the trailer means it worked because we're all interested in different things, and that's what you want out of superhero movies. So give me the sword and sandals Shazam 2 with the coolest costumes, by the way. I love the costumes. Bring us Helen, Mirren, and Lucy Liu.
I don't know what my mentality went down this. You gotta have one trailer where you're kind of skeptical. We got everything else we're excited for. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Coy. And what do you guys think, though? Hey, let's end this with a... Everett Pixelmite Baker. What does Pixelmite mean?
It means that though pixels may be small, they're mighty. It's like the might of the basic building block.
How would Everett be Pixelmite?
Maybe Everett's like a really small guy, but for his size, he's got like super strength,
Oh.
Like an ant, like ants are really small, but like as compared to their body, they're like way stronger, proportionally speaking. Maybe that's Everett.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We're going with that. You're small but mighty. People are like, hey man, what?
Being on our Patreon page.
Thank you for being on our Patreon page.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna start on a riff about how like people are always like walking all over, trying to step over him, trying to like, overlook Everett out there in the world. But you know what? With the might of his pixels, he's gonna be known by everybody. He's gonna tower above us despite his stature. And all of this is ironic.
Yeah, we don't need any of that.